Let me make sure it's working on the YouTube front. Because I'm streaming streaming both from YouTube and Twitch, so that's why I'm kind of... Aha! It is working! Perfecto! Okay, so now I can turn it back on here. Hey mate, I really love your stream and enjoy being a part of your fan community. Would you mind adding me on Discord? My username is this. Judging by... I'm pretty sure this is a bot. Only because... This is the first time I've seen this name. So just say it. Pretty sure that's a bot, so pay no attention to them. Alright, here we go. They're probably going to say, please, I am not a bot. I am not a robot. Anyway, let's get started on reacting here. I need to go here, so that way I can read y'all's stuff. Perfect. Alright, let's get rolling here. Alright, so with the first up, roll the music. Today's top story. D&D Dumb Story. Dumb Story. D&D Dumb Story, or Razender the Wise. So this is the second part of the story of Razender I started on the previous post. Oh, wait. My bad. Let's start, because I just saw the first part. Okay, here's the first part. Is it the same person? Yes, it is. Okay. So let's read the first part. Okay. Skip that. Today's top story. D&D Dumb Story. Okay, so here it goes. This is not really a horror story. This is a D&D Dumb Story. Why'd you post it here? It should be in D&D Dumb Stories. Anyway, and to start, I'd like to propose a philosophical question. Can someone be too dumb to play D&D? This is what we will try to investigate through those quick, simple D&D stories, all taking place within a 3-year period. 25 at the time. Was DMing for a group with an age range from 23 to players I met at school and were a few years behind me. To 43. 2 other guys I met from an online D&D ad where initially one of them was the DM and a couple of my friends my age in the mix. Okay. Anyway, this group has had various characters and many great stories, but this post is mainly about a newcomer to the group we had at the time. First of all, this guy, let's call him Razender. He was not at all too young. He was around my age and had no mental issues that we know of. Was at college at the time and is now a successful lawyer and, according to himself, played before. He was also a pretty nice guy outside of the game and a bit of an anime enthusiast. A man of culture, I see. But I made sure to explain thoroughly that this game was set on a more low fantasy medieval setting and even pointed him at Game of Thrones and Conan as references. Okay, so far so good. How long is the story? Holy shit. Okay, sorry. We'll continue. So his first character concept, a human fighter. We were playing 3.5 at the time, who wanted to fight with 3 swords at a time. That is, 1 in his mouth and 1 in each hand. So he wanted to pull the Zorro thing, right? A concept I was told is from some anime multiple times when I told this story. Oh, okay. After explaining this impossible, I got a but so and so has magic. But so and so has magic. That's much more impossible. And had to thoroughly explain to him concepts like that I am public school trained, subversitude, tone, and setting, and he eventually settled on only 2 swords. So, his guy was a magical human 2-weapon fighter who wanted to become the best swordsman on the country. Sure, whatever, that will work. What can go wrong? The players at the time, it was an ongoing story, were employed at a caravan with rogue and the fighter types as bodyguards. The gnome cleric who originally knew the caravan masters, also gnomes as supervisor, and bard as a chronicler of sorts. They met an NPC gnome who would play riddles with some of them, a infiltrated spy, but that was unknown to them at the time. Got to know each other, played a few dice and card games, drank and told stories of past adventures around the fire as I painted a picture of those NPCs that would be important to the future. This kind of thing, among those NPCs, there were, of course, the other guards of the caravan who, of course, had swords. One of them was particularly tall and had a scar on his forehead, etc. Razender, I challenge him to a duel. Me, why? Razender, Razender, see that this man is probably a veteran of many battles and such. I decided to challenge him so I can prove I am the better swordsman. The other's facepalm, me, rolling wisdom checks on the guard. He's surprised and reluctantly accepts your challenge. They roll initiative. Razender misses this attack of the NPC. Guard hits and deals something like 6 damage with the sword. Razender misses again. NPC hits and deals something like 7 damage. Razender, as a level 1 fighter with +1 constitution, hits 0. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, God. Okay. Hits 0 and falls. Oh, God. The other players patch him up, but Cleric wouldn't just heal this random guard for no reason, so he makes sure he is alive and then put him to rest in his tent. Razender loses the first hour of role-playing and first combat against humanoids who attack the caravan during the night or something. Come the next day, they get to this village. This is a homebrew setting, basically dominated by the Order of the Crows, scholars dedicated to studying various subjects and often sought out for around the country to solve very practical problems, build walls, heal diseases, research arcane matters, etc. On this low fantasy setting, since wizards and clerics are extra rare, Bard, by the way, studied a bit with them, which is why he is a bard. The main building for the order is a tower, I'm guessing tower, with its own garrison and a somewhat difficult relation to the city's militia. The plot was supposed to be a murder mystery. One of the crows would die, and the PCs would have to find the hidden NPC prisoner they had spoken to before, the gnome on the caravan. But of course, before the PCs have even put their backpacks on the rooms the order managed for them, and even before any killing could take place, Razender woke up and decided to enter the barracks of the garrison of the guards that protected the tower. Oh, God. Razender, who here is the leader? NPC Knight. I am. Razender, I challenge you to a duel. Unsheath your sword. NPC Knight, being lawful good, but also something like 6th level. Why? Razender, I attack. Bro, no. Oh my goodness. Razender actually hits this time and deals some average damage. NPC Knight, surprise, finally unsheathes his sword and rapidly hits Razender. All right, pause. I gotta read what you said. I've been playing some D&D and it was crazy. Do you know the Archlich Vecna? Yeah, apparently they have married into our vampire warlocks family, specifically with their son Soren. They were married for multiple hundreds of years, while disguised as somebody else committing marriage fraud. Now here comes the thing. The bloody-handed Kaz is also son of a vampire warlock. Just that they were taken by force. Now we think that this skeleton having a type and our warlock, well, she is very concerned for her kids. Oh man, oh my gosh. Whoa, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Specifically their son Soren, they were married for multiple hundreds of years. Is that real? Did that really happen? You're joking. Oh man, that's so funny. That's crazy, dude. That's so funny. Oh god, I lost my place. Hold on. Everybody. Okay, they were fighting just oh, okay. Attack rapidly hits Razender. Okay, there we go. His sword and rapidly hits Razender, who not even was yet at full HP twice. Razender is unconscious again. Oh god. Yes, that really happened. That was a big surprise moment. Yeah, I could see why that was a big surprise moment. Holy crap, dude. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I haven't had anything like too much like that. I've been DMing for a group here, which on YouTube you can see I mean, I do an okay job at DMA. I wouldn't say like I'm Matthew Mercer or anyone like that, but it's called Into the Unknown, and I've done a couple plot twists so far. Nothing like that though. Nothing, nothing like that. That's a pretty big one right there, my dude. Let's see. Okay, this time Razor wakes up on a cell and is going to be judged by attacking an official for no reason. Makes sense. But Bard Chaotic Good decides to intervene and uses his link to the order, some spells and very successful persuasion and bluff rolls to convince the judge of the order. They had their own jurisdiction within the city to essentially just cut one arm off a Razor, as opposed to condemn him to death, despite the attack happening in broad daylight with dozens of witnesses. Ooh, man. Before the sentence is carried out, however, they hear screaming and the killing takes place in the tower. While the majority of the people were on the courtyard for the judgment, everybody goes inside and they try to investigate. Razor is taken back to his cell in chains, while the rest of the PCs get to investigate, and Rogue and Cleric, spending 2 spell slots, manage to free him during the confusion. After a few hours, the PCs, mainly the warrior types, a ranger and a barbarian and the bard, solve the mystery and get to the climactic fight at the top of the tower against the gnome spy, who turned out to be a cultist from a deity enemy to the clerics. This investigation got a bit easier since many of the suspects were at the courtyard instead of their cells, but still used most of the plot points. Okay. However, only 3 PCs were present instead of 6. Razor, Cleric, and Rogue were absent for most of the time because they were saving-hiding Razor. The PCs had less spells because we're helping Razor. This ended up with the unfortunate death of the immediate death of the ranger, later death of the bard by I'm guessing a curse, and the casting of a permanent blindness on the rogue. Oh boy, I missed 3.5. And the enemy decided to flew after humiliating them using a summoned giant bat, but not on Razor's watch. Oh god, dude. Razor, I jumped after him, like, on the bat. Me, are you sure about that? Razor, yeah. After a roll, he had no acrobatics and got great athletics. Mind you, Razor ended up crashing and having to hold on to a pepper with just one arm, which the enemy promptly cut off as he fell to his death. And thus ended the tale of Razor, the future great swordsman of the realm, but not of his player. No. He would soon enough be back, now playing a cleric and later a wizard. And those are stories for another time, if you guys want to read, of course. Okay, this, man, I have opinions about that. Let me read some of the comments here. I think this is just a moron trying to make a character identical to a character in anime. Yeah, Zoro. Literally, it's just Zoro from One Piece. This is essentially the swordsman from One Piece. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely hate it when a player doesn't want to create something new. They just want to pretend to be one of their favorite characters from a book, movie, or comic. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, because here's my thing. There is nothing wrong with taking things that you like and trying to make it into a character that you enjoy playing. Like, example, like when everybody thinks about wizard, who's the first character you think of? More than likely it's Gandalf, because I mean, come on. You know, like, let's see, when you think of a fighter, I mean, same thing, Aragorn, you know, pretty cool. I mean, I've seen people try to like make Batman in D&D. There's nothing wrong with trying to make something that you like. However, there is a point when you're playing D&D. This person seems like they had a lot of what I like to call main character energy, and when you're in a group, that doesn't work. It just doesn't, because you have to let everyone have the limelight, if that makes sense. You got to have everybody have the same amount of time where their character's moving on with their story, with the mission they want to do, stuff like that. They got to be able to move on in the game. So let me see. Yes, please tell us more stories about Razor the Wise. Already did part 2. Maybe it's a cool enough read, but not that disruptive or funny. But I promise the upcoming part 3, it's where shit really hits the fan. Oh, brother. Sounds like the guy just wants to have fun. I've had anything tell him to hold back a bit because there's a story that everyone... Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It sounds like a person that... They're the type of person that makes, like, chaotic neutral characters all the time and plays the character the same the whole time. Like, I get the character concept. They wanted to do a Zorro thing, which is cool and all. But, you know... What they should have done is make it to where they're still involving the other players. Like maybe, you know, like, I don't know, with the guard, maybe have them all join in like a duel or something like that. But also, I don't play 3.5, so I'm going to put that out there. I know 3.5 is really more brutal than 5e by tons. So... You know, there's that. And I wouldn't exactly call me like the best person to go off of 3.5 and stuff like that. 5e I know decently well. I'm not a rules lawyer by no means, but okay. When the DM says you can't do this, but it's literally in the player's handbook. All right. Nothing humbles a party faster than a DM who homebrews rules, like a drunk wizard brewing potions. I mean, that's a cool concept. Suddenly, flanking gives disadvantage and sneezing costs a bonus action. We get it, Steve. You're the god here, but we can at least use our class features. Sound off if you've survived the Rule Mancer syndrome. Okay. With that, that's a weird one. That sounds like a person that's more doing like railroad ties comparatively to like making a world where like people can explore and all this. It's like, it sounds to me like this person has a very set path on what they want to happen. And what it sounds like those people that should just write a book instead of a campaign. There's nothing wrong with having what I like to call a theme park-esque, where like, you know, you have bits and pieces where things just happen and the characters are just kind of there, almost like I'd explain it like as a cutscene to a video game. However, there's a difference between just controlling your characters, like your PCs to the point where they can't do anything. I'm gonna say you're not a good DM, especially if you're not letting them use their class features. If you're not gonna let them use a class feature, then you need to make a system that works for them. Let me see. All right. My character is a druid named Bismuth Wrongjaw. I play them exactly how you would play a paladin. Well, they have a cult called the Black Betty Bismuth Cart. Well, turns out the cart was a mimic. Oh no. Well, in universe there was a 30-day break and the Daybreaker crew. Oh, cart. Okay. They have a cart called the Black Betty Bismuth cart. Okay. Not cult. Oh, okay. Gotcha. My character is Druid Bismuth Raja. I play them exactly how you would play a paladin. Well, they have a cart called the Black Betty Bismuth cart. Well, it turns out the cart was a mimic. Well, in universe, there was a 30-day break, and the Daybreaker crew, which is me, the fighter, and the paladin, were going on a road trip. On the way, we found Mario and his Mario Kart, also a mimic, and we were going racing against them. Sadly, after that, we never found Mario Kart again. So I have a question. So is this like a universe where it's just like a mixture of like pop culture? Because that's what it kind of sounds like, which is cool. I like that concept. I've heard of other people doing that thing, and that's a really cool thing. No, it's not. So the DM just his name just happened to be Mario. Just happened to be. Come on. That's amazing. That's amazing. Mario Kart. Oh my gosh, dude. Can you imagine being like, oh, this guy's Mario, it's so cool to hang out with, and then he eats you? That's terrifying. I'm never going to trust Mario again. Which, to be fair, after playing Smash Bros., I don't really trust him to begin with. Mario's a druggie. We all know it. Anyway, flanking gives disadvantage. Did he explain why? I personally don't use flanking rules. Use advantage is so easy to get in 5e anyways, but making it apply disadvantage is shitty. I assume it is applying disadvantage to the flanked creature, not the flanking ones. Let's see. Given that it's followed by sneezing costs a bonus action, I assume it's simply hyperbole. I would agree. Let's see. What a dangerous line to tell. Maybe the DM doesn't realize how much of their power hinges on their table, not making farts noises every time they talk. Yeah, that's true. It was really funny, especially when I found out my cart was a mimic. I ended up cooking the cart and befriending it. Wait. Hold on. When I found out my cart was a mimic, I ended up cooking it. Wait. You cooked your cart? After you befriended it? That's messed up. Cooking for the cart. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I was about to say, like, that's messed up, man. You become friends with it. It starts trusting you. They just start roasting over an open fire. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh man, that's actually kind of cool. Becoming friends with a mimic. That's pretty cool. I like that concept. My campaign, we have a fighter that's slowly going to make his way into bard, so he's gonna dual class. It's our favorite food. Ending up being stew. Easy to make and delicious. And plus, I mean, with D&D, it would be so easy to make it, you know? It would just, yeah, it would be really good. Let me see. Yeah, we have a fighter, we have a paladin. Let me see. And we have a rogue. And then we have my NPC. I'm trying to, like, you know, be able to find somebody to fill in that spot so I can ease out my NPCs being in the party, because I don't want to be that DM, you know what I mean? The only issue is our party is at the moment in the Feywilds, and we were not allowed to take the cart with us. It was a very sad goodbye. Oh man, it's like saying goodbye to like a dog when you're on vacation until you get back. Oh man, that's so sad. That is so sad. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, metagaming. Let's find out here. Okay. All right. The DM said no metagaming, then punished us for not knowing a trap was there. Bruh, we walked into a room, failed our perception checks, and got nuked by a trap. DM goes, you should have seen it coming. Like, my guy, you literally hit it behind dice rolls. What is this, a psychic test? Anyone else get punished for not reading the DM's mind? Ooh. That's a rough one. Man, no mitigating and then punish us for not knowing there's a trap there. Yeah, see that? There's two things with this. Either, like, the DM misconstrued the way they were trying to say that, or B, that's literally just a shitty way for him wanting to. Well, it doesn't say they got TPK'd, but I'm gonna assume they got TPK'd. Oh, and it says it was Adventure League as well. Ooh, bro, that's not good. That's not good at all. Man, let's read some of the comments here. We were the reason for your characters to suspect there might be traps in the area. Oh, were there reasons for your characters to suspect there might be traps in the area? A failed perception check doesn't mean your character must believe that there is nothing there. All it means is that they don't spot anything. I agree with that 100%. I need a way more context on this. Yeah, me too. You all failed a perception and are upset that a trap triggered. That's what those rolls are for, and you failed them, so you don't see the trap. Let's see what the other guys say. He's complaining about the DM saying they should have seen it coming. Yeah, see, like that. That's what I was trying to say. It sounds like the DM just said something wrong. How do you get behind a roll to mean that hiding behind a roll to me means the roll was the only hint at a trap beyond players' metagaming and characters' natural suspicions. Even if they went into the suspicion of a trap, the roll meant that they didn't find anything, so there was nothing to react to. An active perception check and constant smart movements are the only tools a player has here. Doing it like this is a bad trap design from the game angle. Give the hint without any rolls and just pull some insight behind the roll. Make traps small riddles. Putting anything that could soft lock or kill the group behind a single roll is bad design. I agree with that 100%. Das Hexchen, yes, I agree with them 100%. That's perfect. And then this person, PC, I rolled low on perception. GM,
You don't see any traps.
PC, I guess it's safe then. I walk into the room. GM,
You set off the trap, roll a saving throw.
PC, but I didn't see any traps. GM,
You failed your check to see them. You should check hidden traps in a dungeon.
wow, this DM is an asshole. This post says the DM gloated about the PCs not knowing the trap was there. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. There's a difference between... I mean, I agree with the person said, though. Like, you need to still give them hints and stuff like there is a trap. Like, for instance, maybe the room smells of sulfur, but they don't see anything, but you can smell it. Because characters can still smell things, they just won't be able to see it. So like, something like that, you know, give them a little crumb to where they're not just walking in the room, and if you made it to where you're just going to TPK, that's bad design. And furthermore, unless you're doing Tomb of Annihilation, who makes a trap that's going to TPK a whole party? None of your players are going to like that. Even if it kills one person, none of your players are going to like that. It's a story thing. So like, if a character dies in a dungeon from a stupid trap, like from like a log that just comes swinging through, that's stupid. That does nothing for the character. That's stupid. Give them a way. If you're gonna kill your party, do it in a way where it's cool, at least for them and for everybody else involved. Like, if you do that, your party will still enjoy themselves. But if you just kill like, you're kind of like chopping off your own leg here by just cutting off the story of the character. If you built a trap in a stupid dungeon and it just kills them, just boop, done. All right, let's see here. DM is giving skewed attention, and I think it's hurting the game. Okay. How do I tell my DM? Okay, here we go. Let's read this one. Pardon me. All right, how do I tell my DM he's sort of a bad player? Well, me and my DM are sort of good buds, and one day he asked if I could DM for him and a few lads. Of course, I believe that DMs are players too, so I said, sure. We were making characters, and when I got to DM, let's call him Dan. He said he was using homebrew. I was about to see if it was balanced. It wasn't. I told him about it, but he's just strong-armed me to the start of the game. And during the game, he wouldn't RP at all. Not that that's a problem, but I told him that this would be story-based, and during combat, he would bring up buffs and other things about his character in the middle of combat. How do I tell him to chipper up? Okay, so to chipper up, let me see. Okay, so if it's not balanced, first of all, even if he was trying to strong arm, make sure that you tell him, like, hey, you know, we need more balance. Even if, so is hold on. So even for a session, you do kind of need your character balance, because if everybody else is playing something balanced and you seem like super duper overpowered, then that's kind of unfair to the other people. So I would point them out I would point him out that way. Be like, hey, listen, you know, your character seems just a little too strong. And then if he's still dead set on the homebrew, I would be like, hey, man, you know, what if we just knock him down just a few notches to make it more equal to what everybody else is doing? Because if you have an overpowering character, it becomes just like the Zoro thing. They start having like main character syndrome, and it just, you know, it just doesn't work well with the whole table. Let's see. I like how you said, let's call him Dan. And then you never called him Dan in your post. So I tell him what you said here. Yes, I would agree. I wouldn't say, here's the thing. I wouldn't say necessarily he's a bad player. That's not what I would tell your friend. Don't tell your friend he's a bad player. I would tell him that, yeah, just like I said, just tell him to walk with you to make it more usable for the whole table. That's basically what I would say. Well, eventually, our paladin had to tap out of the campaign as they did not have enough time in Universe Vecna touched them once, killing Garbage and the best orc paladin you could imagine as we were falling through the Fey portal. Oh no. In those last moments, they gave me the Hollow Avenger Scythe, which was a Holy Avengers. And then it did say that they got from a god that was later modified for me, the paladin. That is super cool. I mean, it's sad that See, it's really cool that they modified it to make it more for your character, and that's sad that the paladin had to dip out. I always hate it when that happens, but I get it. Because here's the thing about D&D groups. You know, one, it's not the DM, it's not the players. The one killer is time and scheduling. Like I did the modification on their request. I don't know why. Whatever you're typing in there, I don't know why it keeps blocking it. But I mean, like I did the oh, you did the modification. Ah, I see. Roger that. I'm gonna guess and say it was probably super broken, but it would have been broken for the paladin as well. So that's weird. Huh. But that's cool though. That's a cool concept. I like that. Whoever is your DM, they sound cool as hell. I mean, I hope you're enjoying your campaign, because it sounds really cool. You have a lot of stuff going on. You have a lot of stuff going on, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it just sounds cool as hell. You said it's been a couple years, so I mean, gotta have some cool stories, man. That's dope. All right, let's see. For not agreeing with another player, D&D edition. Huh. Let's find out. Oh, brother, this is a thick story here. All right. Oh, that's the update. Oh, okay, so original post. Hello all, I wanted to post here so I could have your opinion about a drama that is currently happening in my group for a long-term campaign. To give some context, Elsa, player, Thomas, DM, running a campaign for about 3 years. There were multiple disputes with various party members leading to some recruitment to finish this first original campaign that Thomas created. Thomas is a pretty chill young DM, really passionate, and he really wanted to see this end. Elsa is the main character of the campaign. She is utterly broken, and most arcs evolves around her. So being another player, Melanie, come to help finish the campaign. Okay. Elsa can be passive aggressive, but since we are here as support, we understand our role is to progress and finish the plot, and we managed to do it in 6 months. We are pretty happy at the ending of the campaign, and Thomas is asking if we, Elsa, Melanie, and I, would like to play another campaign from the beginning this time. Honestly, Thomas is a great DM, and even if Elsa was sometimes strong-spirited, I was all in to play. We recruit 2 new players and start the campaign. All goes well until Elsa starts making passive-aggressive comments. but we don't bite on those and we let it slide and move forward. Another time she starts taking my character apart, threatens me to reveal my vampire nature to the public if I don't listen to what she says, and she is very condescending. Situation escalates, and I'm telling the DM I have not taken a short rest to have my ability points. So if she is making a move, I can literally one-shot her. Wait, I have not taken. I play a rogue assassin. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm asking to intimidate her, so it doesn't come to that to make her back off. She rolls a nat freaking 20. She brushes me off and doubles down. I'm just ignoring her and just keep walking. Our characters will not be friends, and that's okay. We're a group of 5. Not everyone has to be besties. This character seems chill as hell. Moving forward to this. During a traveling session, we find a manticore attacking a lady in a tower. Elsa decides to insult it, which triggers initiative. We fight, we lose poorly, the NPC is killed. Oh, shit. Elsa then tears into the DM because the fight was too hard and the NPC died. Next session, she is not here. Let me stop there. If a combat is too hard, the DM is telling you, and nobody died except an NPC, the DM is telling you, you're not supposed to be there. That is literally what that is. I can call it from a mile away. They're putting up a wall so you don't go there. So if you do try to do it, they're telling you, hey, maybe just leave. The NPC might die, but you know what? Just dip out. Come back later. Next session, she is not here. We go downtown, inform people that this woman, the healer of the small region, died, and the blacksmith gives us a kit to remove bones from creatures, asking from us to kill and recover the bones from the manticore to build us weapons. We find its lair at the end of the session. This is where all goes downhill and the apocalypse begins. Oh no. Also, pause. It is a very fun campaign. It is great about campaign is great about the weapon. The DM did rule that because of my modifications, druids could also use the weapons. Oh, okay. See, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. The DM seems cool. If they let you do that, that's dope. I'm happy for you, dude. When D&D campaigns are going well and everyone's enjoying themselves, that's when you're in for the long haul, and it's going to be a great time. I love that. So let's see. Okay. Elsa plays an alchemist who can create golems, homebrew, or third-party class. Oh, that doesn't sound good. The DM tweaked it so she can play it. She wants to take parts of the manticore to upgrade her creature and get a power boost. But the quest is to bring back everything to the blacksmith, who can forge 3 weapons. We defeat the manticore. I almost died fighting it. Elsa stayed back until the creature was down. Then she took the kit and said, I'm going to take the parts for me. We say, no, it's a quest. We're bringing everything back to the blacksmiths. And then Elsa says, either I'm taking the parts or I destroy the kit and no one gets anything. Wow. That did not sit well with me. I raised my voice. To stay, we will not allow that. The group pushed back and we brought everything to the blacksmith. As we were getting out, some NPC arrives, barely alive, bleeding out. Our martyr saves him and the guards ask us to go where he came and he will give 50 gold to save the ranch. Okay. Elsa then decides to stand up to the guards and ask for money. We just received 500 plus gold from the manticore's lair. Again, the group argues that we don't care about the money. People are in danger. We need to move fast. We will do it even for no money. Session ends on us leaving. After the session, we usually send a post on the Discord to say how it went. Yeah, that's what I do too. Also posted that she felt miserable during the game. Like no one listened to her and we pushed back her ideas without even compromising. She asked what the group thinks of this. I decided to answer explaining that she made choices with her character that went not only in a different direction that the group would, but that was against it. She threatened us, of course, we would push back her ideas. And then she said she felt excluded. We as nerds should understand and not feed into the exclusion. She started to say that I was picking her down and the DM, her only friend, had to pick her up. I replied saying she created the situation with her choices and her comments, and putting the blame on us isn't helping. She went on a rant saying we were assholes and we don't understand. Am I the asshole here? If you need more context, don't hesitate to ask. I have the screenshot of the messages sent, but they are in French. Interesting. I originally put 3 random Nordic runes into the weapon because it seemed cool. Turns out the meanings that the runes had completely fit the story of the Paladin's End. That's cool too. That's really cool. See, I like that. I like that. The DM still adding it to the story and still adding to the player's character. That's cool. I like that. Continuing the legacy of that character. That's cool. That's cool. I definitely like callbacks are so cool because all your whole table's going to appreciate that. It's so cool. Am I wrong? Okay, so no, you're not wrong. This person, you're not wrong. The thing of it is it sounds like just like we were talking about earlier, main character syndrome. It just sounds like a player that just wanted their story. They're alone to get the boosts and all that stuff, and nobody else gets anything. The problem with that is, again, they're not thinking about the table. They're thinking about themselves. So it's a very selfish thing to do when you're playing a game where you are a party. A party. Not just you. A party. And so then you get it to where you have situations like this where the character just wants everything. Every little tiny thing. And so nobody gets, you know, like I said, the limelight, so they don't move on in their own stories. They don't move on with their missions or nothing like that. Because it seems like this person just kept stopping every time the group wanted to move on. And that is terrible. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, let's see. The update. Thank you for all your DM comments. I talked to a few of the party and they were feeling more or less the same thing. I also talked to the DM. Elsa just tore into him and asked for punishment for my behavior. Okay, that one may be on me. She was just attacking everyone. I asked her to stop ranting and please reconsider her words, that she was breaking the party. She didn't, so I sent a gif of someone digging and then she could not trust me anymore and that she wants me to apologize. DM told her that she will have to apologize as well, that she has her part of the responsibility. Yes, I agree. DM is also ready to kick her if the table cannot play with her anymore, but she is using her friendship with him to guilt him into keeping her. Wednesday is our next session. I'm 100% sure that we will talk it out. Shit will hit the fan. Hard. Yeah, I mean, until the gif is still funny. I'm sorry. It's funny. Okay, it's funny. But I would say I don't really feel like she should apologize for that because she's just backing up her table. And I didn't see the messages because one, I don't speak French, so you know there's that. But however, if it is how they're playing it out, because it is the internet, so you don't know. If it is how they said it was, then you know what? This player just sounds like a main character that only wants their things and their stuff, and they don't care about the rest of the table. So honestly, they should just be kicked out. Bottom line. Either that or the DM needs to talk to them and tell her to chill. To chill out. Like, like, it sounds like this is the player and not the character, if that makes sense, because people have to differentiate that. The player may want this, that, this, and that, this, and that for their character, but that doesn't necessarily that your character wants that. Like, sure, you may get a boost, but that doesn't necessarily your character is thinking at that point in time that is what they need. Let's see. Cool. Okay. My thing keeps disconnecting and reconnecting to the chat, which is kind of funny because I'm using the Twitch app on my phone to read the chat. That it's just silly. It's just silly, dude. Like, it's crazy that people will act that way. You're like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, that's just, it's wild. It's crazy. But you know what? I hope you all enjoyed. It was just a short little stream today. And I will see you guys in the next one. We will be streaming tomorrow some D&D Into the Unknown. I believe it's episode 10. And for us, it's going to be mountain time from 6 to 10. 6 to 10 mountain time, if everyone can make it. and if we're gonna do it. So, you know, it's just depending on scheduling and all that. So hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Bye.